What happens when you masturbate every day for a year? Sexual health is an important aspect of overall wellness that often goes undiscussed due to social taboos and discomfort. However, understanding how our habits affect our physical and psychological well-being is crucial for making informed decisions about our health. Today, we're examining what scientific research and health experts tell us about frequent masturbation and its effects on the human body and mind. Before diving into this topic, it's essential to establish that sexual behaviors, including masturbation frequency, vary tremendously among individuals. What's normal for one person may be completely different for another. Factors such as age, hormone levels, stress, relationship status, overall health, and personal libido all play significant roles in determining individual patterns. There's no universal correct frequency. Health professionals generally agree that masturbation becomes a concern only when it interferes with daily life, relationships, or causes physical harm. One of the most commonly reported physical effects of very frequent masturbation is decreased sensation over time. This phenomenon, sometimes called desensitization, occurs when nerve endings become less responsive to stimulation. For men, particularly using excessive pressure or friction during daily masturbation can lead to what some medical professionals call death grip syndrome, where the nerves become accustomed to a level of stimulation that cannot be replicated during partnered sexual activity. This decreased sensitivity isn't permanent in most cases. The nerve endings can recover their sensitivity when given time to rest and regenerate. However, if someone maintains a daily habit for an entire year without variation, the recovery period needed might be longer. Some individuals report needing several weeks or even months of reduced frequency before normal sensation returns. The body's natural lubrication systems can also be affected by daily activity. For women, frequent masturbation might lead to temporary irritation of delicate tissues if adequate lubrication isn't used. For men, the skin can become irritated or develop small abrasions if proper care isn't taken. These physical effects underscore the importance of being mindful about technique and using appropriate lubricants when needed. The psychological effects of daily masturbation are perhaps even more complex than the physical ones. Our brains are remarkably adaptable, and they quickly adjust to repeated patterns of behavior. When masturbation becomes a daily habit, several neurological changes can occur. The reward system in our brain, primarily involving dopamine release, plays a crucial role in how we experience pleasure. When we engage in pleasurable activities, including masturbation, our brains release dopamine and other feel-good chemicals like endorphins and oxytocin. With daily repetition, the brain can begin to expect and depend on this chemical release, potentially leading to what researchers call habituation. Habituation means that over time, the same activity produces a diminished response. The first time someone engages in a pleasurable activity, the dopamine release is significant. But with daily repetition over months, the brain releases less dopamine for the same activity, requiring either more intense stimulation or more frequent engagement to achieve the same level of satisfaction. This is the same mechanism underlying many forms of behavioral addiction. The relationship between masturbation and pornography use adds another layer of complexity. In our digital age, masturbation often accompanies pornography consumption. Daily pornography use can lead to what some researchers call pornography-induced erectile dysfunction, or difficulty becoming aroused by real-life sexual encounters. The brain becomes conditioned to the specific type of stimulation provided by pornography. The variety, the intensity, the lack of emotional connection, making real-world sexual experiences seem less exciting by comparison. One of the most significant concerns about daily masturbation, particularly when it becomes compulsive, is its potential impact on intimate relationships. Some individuals find that frequent masturbation decreases their desire for partnered sex. This isn't simply about being physically satisfied, it's about psychological conditioning. When someone becomes accustomed to the complete control they have during masturbation, the pace, pressure, fantasies, and timing, partnered sex can seem less appealing. It requires communication, compromise, and attention to another person's needs. For some, the efficiency and reliability of masturbation become preferable to the complexity of partnered intimacy. This preference can create significant relationship challenges. Partners may feel rejected, inadequate, or confused about why their significant other seems uninterested in physical intimacy. Communication often breaks down around this issue because of shame, embarrassment, or inability to articulate what's happening. However, it's important to note that not everyone who masturbates daily experiences relationship problems. Some couples incorporate individual masturbation into their healthy sex lives, and some individuals maintain both daily masturbation habits and satisfying partnered sex. The key factor seems to be whether the behavior is compulsive or chosen, and whether it's hidden or openly discussed within the relationship. The concept of masturbation addiction is controversial in medical and psychological communities. While it's not officially recognized in diagnostic manuals like the DSM-5, many health professionals acknowledge that some individuals develop compulsive sexual behaviors that share characteristics with other addictions. Signs that masturbation might be becoming compulsive include continuing despite negative consequences, inability to stop despite wanting to, neglecting responsibilities to engage in the behavior, experiencing withdrawal-like symptoms when unable to masturbate, and escalating patterns where more stimulation is needed over time. Daily masturbation for a year doesn't automatically constitute addiction. Many people maintain daily habits without negative consequences. The distinction lies in whether the behavior is causing distress or impairment in important areas of life. Despite the potential concerns, it's important to acknowledge that masturbation, even daily, can have positive effects for some individuals. The release of oxytocin and endorphins during orgasm can provide temporary stress relief and mood improvement. Some people find that regular masturbation helps them sleep better, reduces tension headaches, and provides a healthy outlet for sexual energy. For individuals not in relationships, masturbation can be an important part of maintaining sexual health. Regular orgasms, whether from masturbation or partnered sex, may help maintain the health of sexual organs and keep sexual response systems functioning properly. Some research suggests that regular ejaculation in men might have protective effects against prostate cancer, though the research is mixed and shouldn't be taken as medical advice. For women, regular orgasms can help maintain vaginal elasticity and lubrication, particularly important during and after menopause. The key to healthy masturbation habits isn't about adhering to a specific frequency, but rather about maintaining balance and awareness. If someone chooses to masturbate daily, being mindful about the practice can help prevent negative consequences. This might mean varying technique to prevent desensitization, taking occasional breaks to reset sensitivity, being aware of pornography use and its effects, maintaining open communication with partners, and regularly checking in with oneself about whether the behavior feels compulsive or chosen. For those who find their daily habit is causing problems, gradual reduction rather than sudden cessation is often more sustainable. This might involve slowly increasing the days between sessions, finding alternative stress relief methods, addressing underlying anxiety or depression that might be driving the behavior, or seeking support from a therapist who specializes in sexual health. Ultimately, what happens when someone masturbates every day for a year depends entirely on the individual. Some people might experience no negative effects whatsoever, while others might develop physical sensitivity issues, psychological dependence, or relationship problems. The most important factor is self-awareness. Regular check-ins with oneself about how the behavior is affecting physical health, mental well-being, relationships, and daily functioning can help identify when adjustments might be needed. Questions to consider include, is this enhancing or detracting from my life? Am I choosing this behavior or feeling compelled to do it? Is it affecting my relationships or responsibilities? Do I feel satisfied or constantly chasing satisfaction? Sexual health is a complex interplay of physical, psychological, and social factors. Daily masturbation for a year might be perfectly healthy for one person and problematic for another. The key is understanding your own body and mind, being honest about the effects you're experiencing, and being willing to make adjustments when necessary. If concerns arise about masturbation habits, whether too frequent or compulsive, healthcare providers and therapists specializing in sexual health can provide personalized guidance. There's no shame in seeking help for sexual health concerns. They're as valid and important as any other aspect of health. Remember that sexual health exists on a spectrum, and what matters most is finding what works for your individual situation, maintaining awareness of how your habits affect your overall well-being, and being willing to make changes when something isn't serving you well.